Well, tomorrow, Casey Anthony could be a free woman after spending some 3 years behind bars. But with so much public opinion against her, it's hard to imagine what must be going through her mind and how she moves on from here. Dr. Gail Saltz is a Today contributor and psychiatrist, and Janine Driver is author of You Say More Than You Think. Good morning, ladies, to both of you.
Good morning.
Janine, I know your expertise is how people lie and how you can tell if someone is lying. We'll get to you in a minute, but Dr. Gail, I have to ask you to start. I mean, Casey Anthony's life is about to change. It may be literally overnight, depending on when the judge decides to release her, but bottom line, she will be released sooner rather than later. How does someone adjust, particularly coming out into a world that's so different than when she left, everybody watching her?
I mean, this is a problem for a myriad of reasons. People who've been in jail adjusting to being able to take care of themselves and being outside. Usually they try to return to family, but obviously in this case it's the family that's so, at best case scenario, incredibly dysfunctional. Most families can't survive infidelity, can't survive sexual abuse, certainly can't survive a murder or the loss of a child, for that matter.
We'll add
all
on
of
to
these things together.
That in the context of her defense, she actually accused her father, suggested her mother may have been the one who left the ladder on the pool, which led to the child's death, and accused her brother in this public stage of molesting her.
And we don't know what is true, but let me just say that if any one of these is true, or even just the accusations themselves create such, anger, animosity, difficulty in getting along, that it's hard to imagine how this could be. I don't think you could say the word repair. Now, sometimes pathological families hang together out of the desperation of the fear of being alone, and they sort of cohabitate in this very dysfunctional way. So could that possibly happen? It could.
Well, Janine, I have to ask you, the counts that she was convicted of were lying to police. There was overwhelming evidence that she did lie. In fact, the defense acknowledged she had lied. One of the prosecutors called her a professional liar. How is it that what's the dynamic here? How is it that somebody adopts these behaviors and becomes this way?
Well, it's interesting when people start to lie and then they get caught in a lie, then they become desperate. And when they become desperate, then their lies become bigger or more elaborate. And we can fall for it. I'm retired from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, within the Justice Department. It's very easy to even lie to law enforcement. But law enforcement knew pretty early on that she was lying, Casey was lying. They let her kind of walk herself down to the plank and jump off into the middle of the ocean. She confessed. They got to use that in court, and ultimately she was convicted.
Let's put on
of lying.
Well, exactly. Her defense acknowledged that she had lied. Let's play a little bit of that interview she had with police. Talk about it on the other side.
Knock on the door, nobody answers. So I call Zenaida cell phone, and it's out of service.
Everything you told us is a lie. Every single thing.
If the main thing you want to do is find your daughter, and you don't think lying to us is going to help us find her, why would you do that?
Because I'm scared, and I know I'm running out of options. It's been a month.
And that was going to help find her how?
I don't know what else to do anymore.
Janine, you say there are telltale signs when someone is lying, the way they speak, but also how they act?
Absolutely. So anytime someone lies, whether they're committing an act or they're lying in a statement, there are always trails of the truth. And it's just a matter of spotting them. One of the things that we see with Casey is body blocking. We saw it with a lot of politicians. We saw it with Roger Clemens. Anytime a piece of our body covers another piece of our body. Casey Anthony would often put her hand over her eyes. She's blocking her eyes. She was playing with her bangs earlier on in the trial, constantly pulling her bangs down over her eyes, in front of her face. What this becomes is armor. It's as if she wants to protect herself from the truth, because ultimately she's lying. And what this means for us is we need to spot body blocking with the liars in our life.
All right. And Gail, I mean, this is a woman who has absolutely no support system to speak of, and now will have the eyes of the world upon her. I can only imagine photographers will follow her every step of her life.
Right. I mean, one of two things is going to happen. Either she's going to make it her business to disappear, if you will, and try to get help for herself and repair her life in that sort of way, which obviously is what I would advocate for as a professional, or she's going to gravitate to the spotlight, and become part of the machine of what all of us like to watch, of the terror and the explosions and so on. And
she might as well walk around with pants on fire and a giant nose, because America is going to judge her a lot differently.
All right, Dr. Gail Saltz, Janine Driver, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you to you both.